Morrow the Caster here with another Shadowlands preview video. Today we're going through the Venthyr Revendreth Armor Sets. This is just a part of my series of all the data mined gear that has been released to us through Wowhead and whatnot. What we're going to first go through is the Tier 1 cloaks, Tier 2 cloaks, Tier 3 cloaks. Then afterwards we're going to go through each of the gear sets. I'll give you kind of my kind of review on them roughly, give them a little grade, give them a grade, then go through some of the comments, compare what my critiques and ideas are of them compared to the comments, and then give one last final review of the armor. So without further ado, let's start with the Tier 1 cloak. So the Tier 1 cloak definitely has some cool characteristics to it. It's a little vampire thing with some kind of like these gothic looking little candles on them. I don't see potential much for clipping here, unlike the Orbos gear. I do like the dark color. I do like the black kind of with a red tinge to it, and then I do like the hazy red right there. Definitely pretty cool looking. The blades are kind of interesting. I see what they're kind of going for. This definitely looks kind of cool. Probably look good on some sort of set for rogues, or even demon hunters. I think that'll be kind of cool. I do like the little the blades coming off. I bet you this will look really good with actually most of the armor sets. I'm putting my money on this one being the coolest looking gear set. And then we got the Tier 3, which looks like a tomb with a chain on it with some candles. This is interesting. It's actually I don't know if anyone's ever played Dark Souls 3. These look like the coffins that I call them the coffin smashers from the Undead Settlement are from. I'll see if I can find it. Oh, we'll do it later. But this looks like that coffin they smash you with, but it's either going to be really cool or really dumb. TBD, I guess we'll find out. One thing I did forget to mention in this opening of the video is I haven't gone through any of these gears yet, so I don't know what they look like. So this is my first go through it, so everything that I'm seeing here is the first time I'm looking at it. Without further ado, let's look at the plate set for Tier 1. I'll go through the gear itself in the Tier 1 set, and then I'll compare it against the tier backs. So let's zoom in. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so this gear is, I dig in the shoulder pads with little gargoyles on them with the little red smoky eyes coming out. It does match the eyes on the helmet. I like the gear. It definitely screams kind of gothic, vampire-like theme going on. I like the little gargoyle feet going here. The gear does feel a little bit busy. A lot of conflicting textures. You have a lot of like push out right here, lot of push out here, and then you have like super skinny legs, and then some some claw like features here. It looks really cool. I just feel like it's a little bit on the busy side, to be honest. I do feel like this back right here probably actually does look like it clips a little bit through the shoulder pads. It does kind of feel a little underwhelming with this gear set. I'm actually thinking it might look actually best with the tombstone. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm not really sure how I feel about this this back on it. I feel like either two things are either going on. Either ties in perfectly and it's so balanced that it works, or it's so underwhelming that the gear just outperforms the way it looks. So I'm not exactly sure. Just close these real quick. So let's go to Tier 2. Okay, well, at least from a front on view, definitely the little blades do look dope. They look intimidating. I do like how it's kind of like hazing off like this this gargoyle-y, like again matching the eyes. How it's kind of off-gassing some of this red stuff. Looks really cool in this armor. Let's see over here. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. I do like how the back has a little bit kind of like a ribbed sort of like look. How it's kind of terraced out, and each time that they terrace out a little bit, you have a blade specifically positioned in the right spot. Definitely a cool feature of this gear, and I'm really digging it right now. This so far is, I like this so far better than the tier 1 for sure. And then let's go look at tier 3, the tombstone. So you can't really tell about the tombstone on from the front. You can't see it at all. So we'll just mosey on to the back of the armor. Not digging it, actually. I think this is so far actually the worst one. I mean, I think in theory it's cool, but I don't think it actually ties in well, at least with the plate gear. Maybe with the other armor sets, we'll see, we'll find out. But I don't think it actually looks really good on the plate armor. It doesn't really tie into anything on it, really. There's no chains on this armor. Nowhere on here does there chains, yet there's chains here. It would be dope if there were some chains on the armor that tied into the chains on the tombstone. I think that would have been a cool tie-in, but I don't see that here, and I'm actually not very happy with the way that looks on this gear. Okay, so let's go to, oh wait. So it does not look like we have, let's just run through real quick. So it does not look like we have a mail set yet. So that's interesting. So we'll just drop right into the leather set. Before I do that, let's give this a quick grade. I think overall with the plate, I'd give it a B+. It looks a little busy, and comparing to some of the other Covenant sets, it definitely is in the middle of the pack, sort of say. Well, that being said, I do think it's still a good piece of armor. I think the shoulder pads are probably the coolest part of the armor set. I think everything else kind of looks a little busy. But of the tiers, definitely tier 2 is the best of this armor set. Leather. Let's get into leather. Huh. So the leather set, as I'm seeing, I'm digging this little red mist coming off the helmet. I think that's going to tie well in with some of the armor pieces that use, for example, the knives and the tier 1 back. Once we get to the back, I think it will look decent with it. It definitely is very on the complete opposite side of the plate gear. It's a little less not so busy. It's pretty basic. There's not much new textures they added to it. I think the boots definitely are some new pieces of texture that you made. This is kind of not current in game. I do like these little swoopies right here. Definitely looking like a roguelike gear set. I think this would pull off good rogues, and as well as demon hunters. I think demon hunters might need a little bit of tweaking on it with some other transmog pieces, but overall, I think this is a pretty decent set for leather. I do like how basic it is in the chest. I do like it kind of looks like a high class gothic warrior, or kind of like morose almost. Let's see how it does look with the back. Oh, that does. I don't. Looks like. Oh wow. Hold on. So these shoulder pads are huge, and they're clipping through the whole thing. That is no good. This should. I mean, they made the armor from the ground up. They should make it so it doesn't clip. You know, make the armor work with it. You know, I don't see why they had to just force it onto it. I don't like how it clips through the tier 1. Let's see how it does with tier 2. Okay, so it also clips through that too. From back forward, this is probably the coolest looking set, at least so far. I haven't seen the cloth yet, but this definitely overtakes the plate armor. I think this is really cool. I like what they did with the blades right here. As it does look, it does clip, but I think the blades do tie in well with the little wings right here and the little swoops right here. Also, the little haze coming off the blades do also tie in with the helmet. I do like how they tied that in together. But as you can see, there's some major clipping right here. And it would be decent if they were actually trying to make that intentional, like the shoulder pads were somehow connected to the cloak, but they're not. And I think that does play against the armor. I mean, this still does look sick. I just don't like how they could have offset this a little bit further back, or maybe change the angle of the blade so it wouldn't, clip through the armor. So then let's go to this. Let's just go to the back because you really can't see, like, for example, you really can't see the cloak from the back, so we'll just skip right to the back view as you'll be running. Again, same with the plate gear. It doesn't really pop very much. There's nothing really tying this piece of gear in with the rest of the set. I kind of think they had a great idea with it, but they didn't really make anything support. I mean, we haven't gotten the cloth yet, but nothing about the gear supports that back. And I think that's, you know, kind of a detriment to the tier sets. And I think a lot of people will actually transmog this off. Okay, so let's go to Revendreth cloth gear. So this is interesting. This is one of the few armor sets. I think there's only one other armor set that doesn't rock a robe. And I think that actually works with what's going on here. This is kind of similar to the rogue sets, very basic, nothing sort of say new. I mean, the gloves look a little bit different. If these are bracers, it's a really cool use of bracers going over the actual armor itself. But there's nothing special with the pants, nothing special with the boots, and that's okay in this set. I think they did a good job tying it in. It's kind of like almost like seems like a wealthy person in kind of like you know, the common folk, or I don't really know how to explain it, but like in a castle or something. Very well put together, very sleek, very not busy at all. I do dig these wings right here. I think the wings may look pretty decent with the candles, the candle back, but we'll see. I do wish they can close the face though. I think that would have been cool if they can close the face or put some like jailer bars right here or something. I think that would have been kind of a cool feature to add to this helmet and just close off the skin completely to this set. So let's look at the back. So this one does kind of work so far the best with the little candles and the little vampire head. It doesn't seem like it clips too bad right here, or really at all. Maybe the gloves a little bit will clip with the top of the lantern, but overall not too bad. Let's go over to, we'll just view it in this view right now. Oh, this actually works pretty well. This almost kind of looks like a rogue set. I think the wings on this definitely tie in with the blades here, and it does work. I don't know if it really goes with the look of kind of like, I call it the morose look. If you ever like the lore of morose, I think, you know, the set prior and this, the leather set and this set both kind of relate to that. But I think the blades do, they fit, at the same time they don't. I think the blades definitely fit better in the leather set than they do the cloth set. But they don't look bad on here. I don't see them really being, don't see them being transmogged out as much as some of the other sets with some of the other backs. Overall, definitely decent. Let's skip over to the Tombstone. Yeah, again, Tombstone is not matching. So I'm assuming, and I'm praying, because this is alpha, we don't have what the male set looks like yet. I'm assuming the male set's going to hopefully have some chains or something that tie in his gear piece. Otherwise, if they don't, this piece of gear definitely is out of place. And they need to hopefully change it and put some chains on at least one of the sets of gear to give us a home. I do think they're tailoring some of the tier pieces to different sets of armor based on who's more likely to select that covenant based off what they think. And putting a little bit less effort into, for example, let's say a priest most likely wouldn't choose Revendreth, then they're not most likely going to put much effort into the cloth set and the supporting cloaks and stuff to it, so on and so forth. So I'm wondering if I don't see this much fitting unless there's something they're hiding in the male set. So we'll find out about that. So that's all of those. Let's read some comments real quick. Well, at least on this one, they did not ever bother showing us the male set. Yeah, they did not, because everyone's so far hated everything about the male sets. I actually think a few of them look actually quite good. Male set stunning lack of effort in the leather compared to the rest. I'm amazed. Yeah, but I think that's what they're kind of going for. I think they're going for more of a simple look, less detail, but detail where it needed to be instead of just, because honestly, I think the plate set's a little too busy. The male set was so ugly, like the others, didn't even bother showing it. Where's the male? Are we really though? Because our depth probably is either tired of making generic sets for all armor wearers, regardless of class, probably phoning it. Really love the gargoyles and shoulders. I hope male is good. Otherwise, I'm rethinking covenants based on mounts and transmog. Plate looks too much like a Blood Elf Heritage set. clipping in the Blood Elf Male Tier 1 and Tier 2 is so frustrating. Yeah, I agree. They should not be clipping on these gear sets. I mean, they're making it from ground up, so there's no real reason they should be doing that. So, I mean, it makes sense if like you have mixed match gear and they clip, because the gear wasn't supposed to go together. But when you're clipping at tier sets or armor sets, no excuse. So, anyways, without further ado, I know I forgot to rate a few of them as I went, but we'll give them a final review now. For what is given currently, since we don't have mail, I think this one is a B, B plus. I think the leather, despite it being very basic, I do think with the addition with the blades on tier 2, I think tier 2 is probably an A minus for leather. And cloth, I'd also give a B plus. I don't think it's better than the leather. I do like how they went simple with it, and just do wish they covered up the helmet and covered the face. Therefore, I think the leather set actually took it all the way home, despite what everyone said in the, actually only one person said in the comments. But with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, share it with a friend. In the meantime, comment, rate, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because I'm trying to get a lot of these out in the short time I have. I'm going to be trying to do something different and upload a bit more videos and kind of give you some more content while you guys are all cooped up at home. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy, and have a good day.